Okay, so the most simple sketching tool is the line tool, and we're very quickly going to have a look at that. So we can go up to where it says sketch, just up here, click on sketch. We can select a plane. So this blue box asks us to select a plane. Let's go for this top plane. Okay, and I can then click N on the keyboard to go normal to by doing that, or I could have clicked over here on this little command, click on the top, and it'll take me to the top plane. I can hide my planes by clicking on P, and then I can go up to here and get my line tool. Now the shortcut for a line tool is L, so I can click L on my keyboard, and all of a sudden I have this line tool like so. Okay, that's a very simple line tool. Now we want this ideally to be black. Black means it's constrained, so you can get the dimension tool by clicking on D or going up to here for dimensions, and we can click and we can make our dimensions. Let's say that's going to be 20. Let's say this one's going to be 25. Let's say this one is going to be 35. Press enter. Now if I want to get rid of these lines here, I can either use the trim command up here, click and drag through, or I can press escape and I can just click on that part and press the delete key on your keyboard. These are still not black, so they're just hovering in space, okay? I can see any constraints that it's got. So it's got this constraint here, which means this point is vertical to this dot here. So if I delete that for now, just like so, we can now move this around in a completely random way. We could get the dimension tool and we could say we want this to have an angle. So I click on one line, click on another line, and I can make this angle, say 240 degrees. I could potentially say I want this line here and this line here, the two that I've selected, to be perpendicular. So I've gone up there and I've made those two perpendicular. Okay, now maybe we want to attach that to this point, so we can click and drag it, and now that point is attached there, but it's still going to pivot around that point. Okay, it's constrained to there. We've got a perpendicular point here, we've got 240 degrees here. So maybe we want this to be vertical. So we can go up to here and we can click vertical there, or V on our keyboard, and now it makes it vertical, and that is fully constrained. It is a black line. The other line tool you've got up here is your midpoint line. So I can click once, drag it out, and then that gives me a line that is symmetric to this midpoint here. Again, this is now not constrained, it's blue, so perhaps we want to make this midpoint and this point here joined by the midpoint. So if I click on there, it has not worked, which is just typical. Oops, let's redo that. Maybe we want them to be vertical. So if we click on there and click on there, we can make that vertical, and they are now vertical to each other. This is completely random. It's being able to move around like a propeller, and it can change its length. So we need to constrain those two things. So if I go and get my dimension tool, I could make this say 60 millimeters. And now it can move around, but it can't change in terms of its length. Okay, so potentially what we want to do is we want to make this and this line parallel. So we can go up to here and we can click on that, make that parallel. So the final thing it will do is it will move up and down, but nowhere else. So maybe we just add a little dimension from here to here, and we say we want this to be 10 millimeters. And now that is a fully constrained sketch. Midpoint line, standard line tool, they're both very, very useful. Green ticket to finish it.